All right, all right, all right. Hey, Ragers, how's everyone doing today? Wow, it is 11/11. 11/11. What a special day. It's a special day because it's a special day. It has astrological and numerical meaning to it. And then it's also a special day because I've been wanting to talk to this guy for so long. I've wanted to talk to him for so long. And to have the caliber of patriot that I have today, as you can see his name right here, to have this caliber of patriot with the spiritual calling that I see on his life, and then finally get to interview him on 11/11 is amazing to me. So I don't need to say his name. He's right there. I put his name right there. You guys know him from TikTok. You know him from Twitter. You know him. He's on IG too. You know him. You might know his dad, who's been a longtime Trump supporter and friend of the family. But let me tell you why this kid is special to me. He's special to me because when I first saw him on TikTok months and months ago, I immediately fell in love with this kid's soul. I looked at him, I listened to the way he spoke, the way he carried himself, and I said, something's going on. This kid he's one to watch. He's passionate, he's fighting for his country, and he's young too. Not only is he young, he grew up in LA. I feel a kindred spirit with this kid because, I grew up in LA too. I grew up not too far from where he lives. And to have the amount of courage that this kid has at his age for his country, for peace, for real racial equality, not the bullshit racial equality that BLM is talking about, but for real racial equality. He too is also mixed race like me. He's gay, I'm bisexual. I just feel like I get him. And then on August 8th in Los Angeles, when I went down to my very first walkaway rally in LA, who should be there but Mr. Christian Walker himself. Welcome to the show, Christian.
I am so excited to be here.
Christian, you come from a famous family, but that's not why we know you, and that's not why we love you. I will have to tell you that your father and mother did an amazing job raising you, and I just wish that there were more children in Los Angeles who had the same spirit that you have.
Thank you.
You're radically blunt.
Definitely.
You're funny as shit. Where did this passion for your country come from? Besides just how you grew up, where did it come from in your heart, Christian?
I've always been super appreciative of America's values of freedom of speech and just, learning about how other countries operate. I learned growing up that America was super special. So I've always been appreciative of it. And then probably around 14 or 15, I started listening to people like Ann Coulter, who's my absolute idol, and just different speakers. And I traction to politics, didn't really start speaking out about it loudly till this past year, just because it wasn't something I was doing in my life. And then this year, when I saw the demonic deception that BLM was pushing out, I had no choice but to stand up.
I want to talk about that for a second, the demonic deception. Now we're going to get into some dark territory. and no pun intended, okay?
No, I know. Good one. But now I know it's awful. But we're just on the same, we get each other, and it's so fun. I hate identity politics. I really do. But regardless, there's just something special about meeting another mixed person who sees the deception and doesn't feel the need to bow down to the black mob or whatever. That's just special.
You know what? It was never like that for me. I'm going to be honest with you. Growing up in LA, I didn't really know anyone was racist. And my father is European. So what I did witness as a child, I don't know if you witnessed this with your mother when you were, out at the mall shopping, in traffic, anything. But the only real racism that I ever saw was toward my father. And it's weird because they don't realize, like, that's my dad, like that's my parent.
Mm-hmm.
And to see the way, Black women would treat my father and call him racist, and not knowing that I was like in the backseat of the car as a child. Does your mother experience that at all?
I don't think so. And I don't recall that, but I do. I mean, the only thing that I do kind of feel, if anything, I've genuinely never experienced racism from white people. I just haven't. And, and people like to laugh at that or make fun of that or go, oh, you know how people are. But it's like, no, that's the truth. That's the truth. And whether you want to face it or not is up to you. I've never experienced racism from white people. I've experienced a lot of racism from Black people.
Oh, so have I. Yeah.
No, and that's just factual.
Yeah. It is. And when you're a kid in Los Angeles, there's no culture for Black children. And maybe it's all over the country. I mean, it seems like that.
Now, I live in LA, but I grew up in Dallas mainly. Just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, thank you for correcting me.
I grew up in the South, and it wasn't, there was no racism from white people. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just blows my mind, the cultural hatred that is almost instilled in these families. And obviously your father never instilled that in you, but we see it. It's presenting itself in the most, like you said, demonic way possible. And what scares me is that Blacks in this country have absolutely no culture, to the point where all their culture, the center of almost all conversation in Black communities, Black families, or Black social structures,
hating
colleges, is hatred of white people.
Yeah.
Like, what else is there? Like being late and talking back to your boss and hating white people.
White people, and now even more so the police. But here's the thing. Everybody sees it. You just named it. Everybody sees it. And I think a big problem we're facing right now is our inability to discuss it. No, this is a real issue that needs to be discussed and needs to be purged from our culture, because now it's not only Black culture, it's infiltrating out. There's even white people who hate themselves because they're white. Now that little thing has infiltrated the whole country, and it needs to be purged immediately.
Well said. Well said. Let's talk a little bit about your TikTok journey. Now, you're young. You're only 22, right?
I'm 21.
You're so young. I love it. You're only 21. You just voted for the first time in a presidential election. I saw your Twitter post about that, so I know you're really proud of yourself for that. I'm proud of you. Thank you. Your country thanks you. Donald Trump thanks you. But when did you you said you were never political before. When did the TikTok thing become the TikTok thing? When did that start?
Well, it's the weirdest thing, and it happens so without trying. People say it happens when you're least expecting it. Well, I wasn't trying. So this whole politics thing really started. Joe Biden made the "You ain't Black" comment, and I had never made a Twitter video before. I had literally never talked about politics publicly, and I just said I'm going to make a video, and so I made a video, and it went totally viral. And then he came out and he said, then the Rayshard Brooks thing happened. And when that happened, I made a video about that. That one went completely viral. And then I saw that it got posted on TikTok and it got millions of views. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I was on TikTok, I'd be getting millions of views right now. So I just made one and it blew up.
Once again, I mean, we're kindred spirits, we're parallels, because that's exactly what happened to me that very day. Now, look, I had an Instagram. My background, I'm a chef, so my background is culinary.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh yeah. So I've been a chef for almost 2 decades.
Wow.
I did have a podcast about craft beer. So I was doing my podcast thing, chugging along, barely had any followers, but I was doing it, getting
Yeah.
some recognition on iTunes, but not that much. And when George Floyd thing happened in Los Angeles, my father, so my dad still lives in LA. He's in downtown LA, and I don't know, you know how it was.
Well, yeah, I know how it was because it was when they came over to Beverly Hills. I mean, I watched them burn things down from my roof. I watched it all, but before that, I was watching this stuff downtown on the news. I kept up with the whole thing.
That destroyed any ability that I had after that point to keep my mouth shut. Basically.
Same.
Basically. So, I felt that, this has gotten way too out of hand. It's gotten way too out of control. I started speaking out on Instagram under my old name, which was Beer Talk Radio. Eventually changed it to Red Pill Rage. Got in contact with Verstine Henry of Truth or Talk. I'm not sure if you know who she is. Well, she's an anti-vaxxer, and she's been doing political speaking for a long time as well. She encouraged me to start my own YouTube channel. So I kind of had a few videos on there, nothing really, big, maybe 200 subscribers. 40 of them followed me from Instagram when I got kicked off for talking shit on Instagram, which.
How do I be careful? We can talk later. I need to be careful. I don't want to get kicked off Insta.
Okay, well, we don't have to post this on Insta.
No. I don't want to get kicked off. I need to talk to you about that later. You said you got your account deleted. They're not. Yes. The censorship.
I know.
But.
So anyway, so I came to Walk Away, where I met Brandon, saw Brandon for the first time, saw you for the first time, saw a couple of other people for the first time. Deanna Lorraine of InfoWars. I don't know if you remember the brother and sister that were walking around with the BLM sign, but I ended up having. I kind of yelled at him at first, and
you made a viral video.
Yeah,
it was viral.
So
yes, I remember.
So like you, without really even making an effort or an intention, it just happened. And when things like that happen, it's God, because God was like, no, you're not supposed to be a chef anymore. And if you were good at it, but now it's time to do something else because you have a country to save.
Totally.
So that's kind of cool that your story is the same way.
Totally the same.
What has been the response since you've had all these videos that are going viral?
Tons of support. Don't get me wrong. So much support. So many people who say, oh my gosh, you're a voice for me. I can't say these things. This is what everybody feels. And I know it's what everybody feels because you can sense it's what everybody feels. But the left is so deranged. So of course I get lots of hate from the Black community. I get lots of hate from the left. But I'm speaking truth, and we just happen to live in a generation that hates truth and prefers deception. So it doesn't really deter me from speaking out. But I think it's a mixed bag. Lots of support, and I'm appreciative of my base, and I would never stop simply because I have such a great base, but lots of hate as well.
I hear you. Do you like, now that all of this is happening, you've got so much support from the conservative community. I assume you're about to graduate college, maybe within the next year or so?
Like 2022.
Okay. What do you want to do next?
Honestly, in my perfect world, I get a show. I want to get a show. I like being on camera. I like speaking and commentating on politics and pop culture, not just politics, pop culture as well, and how it's been hijacked by the left. So that's kind of what I really want and what I'm looking for. And I never would have thought I was going to go into political commentating, but that's what I want to do.
Good. I've been stuck in the back of a kitchen for almost 2 decades. I never dreamed my life would turn out like this, ever.
Yeah, right.
Ever. So I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of you too. Has anyone ever reached out to you about or wanted to collaborate with you on your dream now?
So I kind of am in talks with a couple different options. So it will be moving forward, not exactly sure exactly where. But I've been going on a couple of the Blaze shows. I've been on Fox News, which, Fox is kind of struggling right now. But yeah, so looking forward to it. Hope to have it next year. And yeah.
What so let's talk about you a little bit more personally, because people know who your dad is, but people don't know as much about you outside of the politics. And you're young, so it's not like you've lived that much life, and I don't mean that as an insult anyway. But I noticed, are you also a gymnast?
I was an elite gymnast. I then did competitive cheerleading for 3 years. World champion, won 2 world championships, over 10 national championships. So that's kind of how I grew up. So I was, yeah.
Okay.
That was my life growing up. And it's just, yeah. But nobody knows that now. And it's so weird because I spent 18, 19 years of my life training and competing. And now it's like, this is my whole life. And people only know me for politics. And I've just been in it for not even 6 months, like 4 or 5 months. So it's kind of funny, but.
Same thing here. Same thing.
Yeah. It's like you're a chef for 20 years, all that hard work, and then nobody even knows about it, but whatever.
It's all good. It's all good. So let's talk about some current stuff. You when you said see you at the Supreme Court, boo, I just about fell out of my seat. Where do you see this going next? I know that you're educating yourself, you're keeping abreast of everything that's happened. Things seem to be changing by the daily.
Oh my, since Monday. Oh my gosh, since Monday. I think, excuse me, what started on Monday was when Trump fired Mark Esper, who, by the way, was against calling the Insurrection Act on ghetto BLM terrorists. He was against it. And Trump fired him and hired a new Secretary of Defense, who I think will be for calling the Insurrection Act. So what that said to me is Trump's preparing for a violent mob to break out and riot, which is great news because they would break out and riot if Trump pulls home the win. What I see, what I'm praying about, what I hope, and what it seems like is that there was massive voter fraud, and it seems as though we're doing recounts in Georgia. I think the recount started today. There's going to be recounts in different states. And when it's all said and done, when the illegal votes are cast aside, Trump will come out as the winner and we'll take it from there. But that's really what I'm focused on right now. And that's what I see happening. That's what my faith is in.
A lot of us patriots are in a way, all of our hands are tied because especially being in California, you can't control what's going on in another state.
No.
We can't do anything about it. And I think up until November 3rd, we all were working so hard, going to rallies, speaking out, voter registration. I was on a recall effort for Gavin Newsom. I hope you signed it.
I did. Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I totally did.
Like we all on the, I guess I call myself a civilian. Us civilians, we did the best that we could, and now our hands are tied. Things are kind of at a standstill. What suggestions do you have for us patriots so we can just kind of keep our sanity while we wait?
What I keep saying to everyone is we knew that the left was going to pull this. We knew there was going to be massive cheating. We knew there was going to be election fraud. We've been talking about it since the beginning of the year. Now it's happened. We're in a tough situation, but it hasn't even been, is today Tuesday? Oh, it's been a week and a day since the election. Hasn't even been a week since the media called Joe Biden, which is just totally deception, some more deception. So my thing is, trust in the process. Why are you giving up on Trump? Why do you think Joe Biden's won? Simply because the media's called it. The media, we know, lies and makes stuff up and has their own agenda. Don't lose faith. Trust in the president. Trust in the process. Trust that this is going to work out. And don't give up. The election is not over with. Joe Biden is not the president-elect. Let's push through this and let's encourage one another. That's all we can do right now is not give up hope.
Well, your videos are so encouraging. So I encourage everyone now to take a look at the banner, make sure that you're following Christian on all the platforms, and specifically follow him on News Clapper because he just joined News Clapper. And we know that for us Patriots, Parler and News Clapper is basically our future now. Twitter and Facebook are now going to be in our past. TikTok, I got kicked off of TikTok a couple.
You did?
You know what it was? Remember when Trump told the Proud Boys to stand
up, stand by, whatever?
I had actually gone to a rally with the Proud Boys. I still talk to.
They're great. They're not white supremacists. They're not even white.
Most of them aren't. No. You know, there's Samoans. There was a Korean guy, a Proud Boy that I met. You know, half of them are black or Cuban or Latino or whatever. So that's the bullshit. But yeah, TikTok kicked me off because I was defending the Proud Boys, and it's almost like those little trigger trending issues. I mean, they look for you. They look for us Patriots.
Oh, yeah. I'm completely shadow banned. Last week, I made a video about Trump's statements when he came out and he talked a little bit about election fraud. It was blowing up. I was at 3 million views and growing, and they took it down. I've had weak bans on TikTok. Any minute now, I'm going to be completely taken off.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So once again, everybody go find him on News Clapper, okay? And he's now on Parler as well. I'm following him on Parler, so you can also find him through my page. Keeping the faith, rocking it out, doing backflips in West Hollywood.
Woo!
I saw you. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. We did a Trump march through West Hollywood. It was great.
How many people were there?
We didn't even post it on social media, and I think we had 85 or 90. It was huge.
That's great. That's great. And let's talk about West Hollywood for just a second. You know, for all the LGBTs that we have in the room. Okay, so I'm a little older than you. I'm a little older than you, Christian. I'm 38. I remember when I was a kid, West Hollywood in the 90s. Okay, it was a safe city. But every now and then you'd have knuckleheads driving through, calling guys faggots on Santa Monica Boulevard or, you know, whatever it is. But that was a long time ago. West Hollywood is a very prosperous, rich, and not only are they rich, like they have their own government, they have their own police force. They're not.
It's its own city. It's not LA County. It's not Los Angeles. It's LA County, not Los Angeles.
Right. So a lot of people don't know, like, West Hollywood is an extremely wealthy area. It's extremely expensive to live there. Nobody is harassing those gay guys anymore. Okay, so if they want to keep with that narrative, they need to stop.
That doesn't exist in what? No. They're bullying everybody else. But anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, West Hollywood from when I was a kid to where it is today. I mean, what is the reason for all the hate? I've talked to Brokeback Patriot a little bit about this. I've talked to Mikey Harlow a little bit about this. I'm not trying to make you the gay spokesman, but can you say a couple of words on where this crazy leftist mentality, like where it comes from, and how do they capture the minds of gay people to control them?
I think it's a lot because, you know, many gay people grow up and they're not accepted or whatever. But now it's like that. Our society is more welcoming to gay people than it is straight people. You're immediately celebrated. Every year, every company turns their logo rainbow. It is not a big deal to be gay anymore. It's just not. So it's this victimhood we get from the gay community is the same victimhood we get from the Black community. And what I have to say to gays is shut up.
I love it. Well, real quick, Christian, we have someone wanted to say something nice to you. Thank you, ATC.
Aww.
Yeah, he says, young man, your father is an amazing man. Always have looked up for him. Oh, well, what about, I thought white people hated Black people. Are you saying that Christian's father was one of your personal heroes?
Wow. Is that a racist under?
He must be.
No, I'm kidding. That's what the love would say.
Yeah, ATC, you must be an ass-kissing white guilt liberal to say that. I mean, how
Yeah.
do you look up to a black athlete as a hero?
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Let's see. I'm going to look real quick to see if there's any other comments on here for you.
Hey, Doreen.
Doreen. Hi, Doreen. YouTube, I'm getting some comments here that's saying YouTube is down, but we're still streaming on Periscope and Twitch. I was trying to watch Trad Prather earlier today, and
Oh, it was down because I did a video with Elijah Schaefer today, and for a minute the video wasn't coming up. So I think it was down.
okay. So, someone says hey, Sonia. No, that's Vallejo. What's up, Vallejo? YouTube is down for everyone. Rumor is YouTube has been hacked big time, down everywhere. Well, who would hack it? Who would hack it? Oh, and Doreen has a message for you.
Oh, thanks, Doreen.
Kaylee, I guess Kaylee is one of your fans.
Hi, Kaylee. I guess.
Okay.
Oh, because I was on Elijah earlier, so I guess that's maybe what she means.
Oh, okay. Do you do a lot of lives with other people?
No. Elijah, not alive. Elijah Schaefer. He's on Blaze.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I filmed his podcast a bit earlier, so maybe she saw that one.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, Christian, I don't want to keep up any more of your time while you go out there with your cape and you're saving America, with us together. It's a collective effort.
It is. We're a village.
I'm finding that now, like just having people like you and Axe Truth and Truther Talk and Jericho, like I've basically met all of my heroes
friends and
in the last 6 months. And it's just amazing to me. So keep up the good work. And I just want to say, there's a spiritual calling on your life. I might have said it earlier, but there is. You are incredibly special. Like I said, when I saw your TikToks, I said, this is one to watch. And then when I met you in person and I hugged you, there was your aura, your energy, your spirit. It's something to be celebrated. It's something to be admired. And don't ever doubt that. Okay. Because you have big job ahead of you in this country, and it's only going to get better.
Thank you. And I just admire you so much. And your words always mean the world to me. You've made me cry in DMs. So thank you.
Well, before we go, I got to get a little quick pose of yours because I see how you are. Hey. Work, bitch.
Work it. Trump 2020, build the wall.
Build the wall. We're ready. Hey, build the wall and get that Insurrection Act passed so we don't have to deal with this shit in our cities anymore.
Woo! Insurrection! Yeah! Put out the ghetto BLM.
Please, please. And hey, Antifa's pretty ghetto too. They're pretty ratchet. I don't know if you saw their mugshots. They all look like meth heads.
They're total meth heads. They're total druggy. A lot of them are transgender. Just something to note. A lot of them are in Portland, at least. My friend Andy knows a reporter up there, so he reports. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you again for your time. I wanted to keep this short and sweet. Everyone, just keep following him. He's got the Parler. He's got the News Clapper. We are concerned about our placement on the main channels, but you know what? That's fine. This is the dawning of a new age, and Trumpism is waking up everyone to everything. So we're going to move on, and we're just going to make our own shit, and we're going to support our own platforms that support us. Period. That's it, boo. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. You hold on, Christian. Thank you, Ragers.
Bye, Ragers.
Real quick. All right, so thank you, Ragers. Please support Christian. Please also support me on the Patreon. I have a $10 level, a $25 level, a $50 level. And I don't do this because I want money. I do this because I want to keep traveling. I want to keep networking. I want to keep bringing news to you. I want to keep bringing research to you. I want to keep people like Christian on my channel, you know, and keep other patriots on there who are doing the work and walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So thank you, Ragers. Go hit up the Patreon. I appreciate you. Next time. See you next time.